Jerry Jones is a funny guy. He is hilarious. I hope Jerry Jones lives forever. I hope they give him the magic elixir, and I hope he works for the rest of his life. I mean, this guy got Denzel Washington pissed off. You got him on First Take on ESPN looking like he on the Equalizer again. I mean, he looked pissed off, damn near broke out of character. But I got a take on Jerry Jones that is different from what everybody else is saying. What is the perception of Jerry Jones? The perception is, and I've said this before when I've been trolling, is that Jerry Jones is the reason why the Cowboys haven't won anything in 30 years. I'm going to have a rebuttal to that. The Cowboys' failures is not on Jerry Jones. It's on their players. Because in the past 15 years, the Cowboys have drafted the most Pro Bowlers in the first round out of any team. So whether it's Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones, whoever's in that front office, they know what they're doing. But let's show you the difference. You see, Dak Prescott, he has 7 picks in 7 playoff games. Jalen Hurts has 3 picks in 9 playoff games. You see, CeeDee Lamb has 1 touchdown in 4 playoff games. A.J. Brown has 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl. You know, Micah Parsons, he has 1 sack in 3 playoff games. Nolan Smith has a franchise record 4.5 sacks in 1 postseason run. Even Jordan Davis, a nose tackle in 1 postseason, got more than Micah Parsons. So these 3 guys, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, the superstars for the Cowboys, and other guys like a Tony Romo, but we're talking about the 3-headed snake, those 3 guys, Micah, CeeDee, and Dak. It's not on Jerry, because what did Emmitt Smith say? Is Jerry running the ball? Is Jerry throwing the ball? Is Jerry blocking? Is Jerry rushing the passer? Okay. So what that tells me is he has drafted the talent. But the fatal flaw that Jerry Jones has is that he don't got no dogs. He got talented players. He's got extremely, extremely gifted players, but he ain't got them dogs. You see, the Philadelphia Eagles, they got them dogs. You see, Jalen Hurts is a certified dog. You see, Nolan Smith is a certified dog. You see, my guy, Jalen Carter, is a certified dog. And I didn't even mention Devontae Smith, that every level of his life, high school, college, NFL, he has won and he has broken records after records after records. He's a flat-out dog. And they don't call the Eagles the Philadelphia, Georgia Bulldogs. From Nakobe Dean, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith, the whole crew. Some freaking dogs for no reason, no pun intended, even though they are some Georgia Bulldogs. They some real dogs that the Cowboys are not. And so Jerry Jones' fatal flaw is that because he stirs the pot, because he has said that verbatim, I will stir the pot. Because he stirs the pot, he puts more pressure on his athletes, on his players to perform when they aren't ready for prime time. So I would argue the only flaw Jerry Jones has is that he puts more pressure than needed on his players. And his players in the biggest moments, in the biggest games, they don't show up. But we got to shift the narrative a little bit. Is Jerry Jones a troll? Yes. Does Jerry Jones have everybody talking about him? Yes. Is Jerry Jones a savvy businessman that gets ahead of himself sometimes? Yes. Ain't nobody saying he Howie Roseman, but he better at drafting than Howie Roseman. I will say it again. He is better at drafting than Howie Roseman. Now, Howie is better free agency, trades. But if you're just talking about the last 15 years, and whether it's Jerry or the front office, the Cowboys front office historically has been better than the Eagles front office. It's been of late that the Eagles front office and Howie, they've been going berserk, but it ain't always been this way. They've been able to make trades, free agency, all that stuff. And that's why Howie is better, because not only does he make trades, but he, gets a guy in Saquon Barkley in free agency. When the Cowboys had Derrick Henry wanting to come to Dallas, he had a crib in Dallas, and Jerry said, no, I'm cool. So if you want to say that's a knock on Jerry, for sure. But he got talent on that squad. He do. And the guys that he has picked are talented. They're gifted players, but they don't show up. That's what it is. Let's talk about Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning is an unbelievable quarterback. Top 4 of all time. 5 MVPs. The 55 touchdowns in the season, 2 Super Bowls. You could say that he's the best regular season quarterback of all time. I mean, Peyton Manning just said what we've been saying about Jalen Hurts from the jump, and that he's a flat-out dog. I mean, look at what Peyton Manning said about Jalen Hurts. Well, I'll read it right now for y'all. He's played so well in both those Super Bowls, but I like the way he goes about it. He calls me a lot and asks a lot of questions. They actually run a lot of plays that we used to run. We're going to talk about that. From Nick Sirianni to Frank Reich to Tom Moore, that sort of chain. And he said he calls me with very specific questions about certain plays. He's a student of the game. He also praises Jalen Hurts for being not only great physically, because he can squat 600, he can truck guys, he has one of the best deep balls in the league, but Jalen Hurts is cerebral in the pocket. He's cerebral on the center, and he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league pre-snap. We've been saying from the jump that ever since Jason Kelce left the Eagles, Jalen Hurts took a step. He has gone to another level in becoming cerebral under center. He's one of the best, a top 3 quarterback in the league pre-snap. If you don't like it from me, Peyton Manning is literally saying it. He's saying it. You can't get mad. Here's my thing, bro. We have gone to a place where we are respecting the opinions of backup quarterbacks that haven't done nothing in the league, and we're not valuing the opinion of a Hall of Fame top 4 quarterback of all time. I will say it again. We have gone to a place in sports discourse, and I am so happy Peyton Manning is saying this, that we're valuing Twitter bots, we're valuing Twitter trolls, we're valuing the opinions of backup quarterbacks about Jalen Hurts versus valuing the opinion of a top 4 quarterback at worst of all time in Peyton Manning, praising Jalen Hurts, saying the sky is the limit. Hey, Cam Newton, your career isn't a quarter of what Peyton Manning's was. So how about you learn from what Peyton Manning is saying about Jalen Hurts and talk about that? How much talk about that? Because y'all pissed me off, bro. We've been saying this stuff, and I'm so glad that Peyton Manning is saying that today. He's giving him props today. Because I don't know, bro. I've seen Peyton Manning. I've seen Tom Brady rave about Jalen Hurts. But for some reason, we value the opinion of backup quarterbacks. What is we talking about, bro? And the part that Peyton Manning said about Jalen Hurts, that's going to ruffle some feathers, and that's going to prove to the doubters, to the haters, that you're just simply hating and you got no logic behind your statements about Jalen Hurts, is that he said out his mouth, Peyton Manning, we ran a lot of stuff that the Eagles run now. From Nick Sirianni to Frank Reich, they'd run a lot of the stuff that we ran. So does a system quarterback run the same plays that Peyton Manning did? Want to know something interesting? Peyton Manning is all-time great, top 4 of all time. He had a hell of a squad. Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Dallas Clark, Edgerrin James, Jeff Saturday, Adam Vinatieri, a great offensive line. I'm trying to figure out Tony Dungy. I'm trying to figure out, like, did Peyton Manning not have great talent around him? So I don't think it's a coincidence that a guy in Peyton Manning, who's an all-time great, who's one of the best quarterbacks of all time, is saying to us, yeah, he didn't say I had great talent around him, but he's saying to us, yeah, the Eagles are running the same type of plays that I ran with the Colts. And I'm telling you now, a system quarterback not doing that. A quarterback who's not top 10, that's not happening. A quarterback who's not top 5, that's not happening. But a quarterback that's top 2, that's happening. Stop playing. I'm popping it today. I'm feeling great today. Like, comment, subscribe, show some love. Last topic of today, Landon Dickerson. Let's talk about him real quick. And the Eagles, they got a big break because Landon Dickerson ended up dodging a bullet. Now, we had some people talking about he has a torn Achilles. I'm like, you can't tear your Achilles by going backwards. It doesn't make sense. But the Eagles and LD, they avoided the worst case scenario, which could have been a torn ACL. And it was instead a slight tear on his meniscus. So Landon Dickerson is going to be week to week. I would argue I'm not playing him against the Cowboys under any circumstance because the Eagles can easily not only beat the Cowboys, but thrash the Cowboys without Landon Dickerson. Especially if Micah Parsons ain't get paid and he's still holding out. I mean, who they got for real? So what is we talking about? And we already said they comps the Eagles clear the entire roster except kicker that I've said, but you can definitely argue that Jake Galley is better than Brandon Aubrey. So I would for sure wait it out. I would let Landon Dickerson rest. And I would let the backups, whether it's Matt Pryor, Brett Thoth, I would let those guys go out here and get those reps because you never know what might happen in some other high leverage moments. And yes, are the Eagles a much better team with Landon Dickerson? Yes. Is Saquon Barkley much better with Landon Dickerson? Yes. Is Jalen Hurts much better with Landon Dickerson? Yes, they are. But we need Landon for January, not September. So let's wait it out. It says week to week, but I would really say let's do 4 to 6 weeks on that. Let's do 4 to 6 weeks, and let's just wait this out. Have hella caution, and shout out LD because he's a warrior. He fights through injuries like no other. You saw him in that NFC championship game fight through that pain. Him and Cam Jurgens are some warriors. I mean, these NFL players, they're like gladiators, bro. I mean, what they do is not even human. These guys are amazing. But somebody got to tell Landon Dickerson, sit your ass down. And Jeff Stoutland, who has worked wonders after wonder after wonder, got Mekhi Becton paid, got a guy in Jordan Mailata paid, a 7th-round pick, Jason Kelsey, a 6th-round pick. He's arguably the best center of all time, at least of this decade. Not, of course, this decade, but this century. Let Jeff Stoutland, the best offensive line coach of all time, or at least in my lifetime, let him cook. And I trust him. And that's what it is. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. It is Real Talk with MJ, where y'all know I always keep it real. Looking a little spiffy today. I'm out, y'all.